Tick-tock, tick-tock, on the clock. Let the music set you free. Tick-tock, tick-tock, get on the floor. Tick-tock, the clock is ticking. Tick-tock, tick-tock, on the clock. It's time to be who you wanna be. Tick-tock, tick-tock, get on the floor. Hit play, don't stop the living. Tick-tock, tick-tock, on the clock. Show me how you move to the beat. Tick-tock, tick-tock, get on the floor. Tick-tock, the clock is ticking. Tick-tock, tick-tock, on the clock. Come on, step into the spotlight. Tick-tock, tick-tock, we ain't got forever. Let's do it tonight.
Morning reflections. This is me, straight out of bed. Well, this is major bedhead this morning. I do not have the level of energy that it's going to require to fix that. This is Wiley. And now the other one's going to come. We're at Onyx. It's impossible to talk to anything, even a camera, because they're that jealous. Look at this dog. This is how he sits. Mr. Prim and proper. And then we have what we call the moose. An 8-month, almost 9-month-old mastador, who is a fair amount larger than we anticipated. And he's still growing. Eats 10 cups of food a day. Anyway, alright, so just some morning reflections on the last few days. This is day 5. I totally didn't record anything on day 3 or day 4 because both days totally sucked. I worked, and that was all I did was work. I work, and then I came home and piled up on the couch with the hubs and just watched a little TV, and then went back to bed and slept. And Onyx quit. He's licking the tripod thing. Quit. There was no productivity whatsoever. None. And I stress ate because it was 2 very stressful days. There's so much going. There's just so much patient activity in the hospital and so much to keep up with. And I struggled and stress ate. Just all of the junk. All of the junk. And I feel like shit. I feel like total shit. There's such like this guilt. I hate the guilt that comes with the stress eating. And yet I continue to do it. I don't understand myself. But Wednesdays are my me days because I wake up when, I would say when I want to, but it's when the dogs let me get, sleep. I sleep in as long as the dogs allow me, which is usually like 7 o'clock is sleeping in now. But they actually let me sleep till 8 this morning, so that was nice. I got up at 6 and fed them, but we went back to bed. And then, guys, really? Like kids when a parent gets on the phone. On Wednesdays, I typically do nothing at all. That's my recovery day. I call it my me day. It's my recovery day. From 3 days of work straight. And I worked, over 13 hours every day. So, I'm pretty wore out. Today, guys, cut it out. They gotta be right at my feet, play fighting. They're gonna start growling at each other here shortly. It's gonna get loud. Today I got on the scales and I feel like when I get on the scales, I expect to weigh like 290 pounds. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm almost 300 pounds. At my heaviest ever, which was like 16 years ago, I hit 297. It's possible that I had been more than that at one time, but I just avoid the scales, you know. And I don't even have pictures of me when I look like that, because like when I weighed that, because I didn't like the way I looked, and I avoided cameras at all costs. There might be one picture that exists of me. I have no idea where it is. And it's like a kind of like a side angle picture that my then mother-in-law took of me, and I was laughing like the wide open, you know, with your double chin, like all of this is showing, which is even more than I have now, which is, you know, it was bad. And it only comes down to like here, so you can see like my big arm, which is still huge, but it was even bigger then. And I had like a tight, like a high neck shirt on. I mean, it was just not a becoming picture at all. I didn't burn it. It's just I lost it. I really did. I don't know where it is. But I want to document this. I want to be able to this time look back and go, like, this was me. This was how unhealthy I was. Not this is how fat I was, or oh gosh, that's what I look like. Like, yes, I care about how I look and I want to look better, but this is about my health this time. Every other time in the past, I've tried to lose weight because I wanted to look better. Excuse me. I wanted to look better, but for someone else. It wasn't even about me. It was always felt like it mattered more what other people thought of me than what I thought of myself. And and that comes from a rough childhood. I spent my entire life people pleasing because of a pretty abusive, like mentally abusive upbringing. And I'm scarred for that. I mean, I'll struggle with it the rest of my life. I know that. I've accepted it. I have such negative self-image, and it's so hard to overcome that. And it affects everything. It affects... I mean, it's just exhausting. It's just exhausting to be constantly under the perception that someone is judging you and finding you wanting. Someone is judging you and thinking that you could be better, or that you should be better. And it does no good. It does no good. There's nothing... There is no benefit in feeling that way. It's not productive. If anything, it hinders you. It makes you shut down because you're afraid. When you're afraid of people, like I say here, I am afraid still. You know, I still am afraid of disappointing someone, and it doesn't even have to be someone I know. Like, it's so stupid. It is so stupid. It makes no sense at all, and I know that. I know that. I do. I know it. But that's me. And at least I'm self-aware of it now. But it does, you know, it's difficult for me to believe that when my husband looks at me and tells me, you know, baby, you're beautiful. I have the hardest time believing him. How do you believe that when you don't, I don't know. I don't see what he sees. And I've always felt like, so yeah, in the times in the past when I have lost weight, it has been strictly for the reason that I was trying to impress others, or just trying to make myself worthy of being in someone's presence. That part still lingers some, but I have to like quelch it because I have to, that you lose motivation quickly on something like that. Eventually you do kind of get exhausted and you're like, well, You tell yourself, I don't really care anymore. I just don't. Screw what they think. And then you're done. You go back to your old habits. So then what happens is you become unhealthy, which is where I'm at now. I am unhealthy. In the last year and a half, no, 2 years, because this April I will have been smoke-free for 2 years. I smoked like a freight train. I'm an alcoholic in recovery. I'm a year sober now. Hey. But God, I had such a bad lifestyle. But 2 years ago, I developed bronchitis out of the blue. And I woke up wheezing. I had never experienced that before. And I went to work, and after morning med pass, I couldn't breathe. I was trying to help change a patient's linens with a tech, and I was in worse shape than my patient was. And the tech was like, okay, you're done. You need to go sit down. I'm tired of following you around, making sure you're not going to fall out on the floor. They're great to me. Anyway, I ended up getting a breathing treatment in the dictation room that morning because I have amazing friends who care about me. And it still wasn't enough. I ended up in urgent care that day, and they, of course, they swab you for COVID and all that stuff. It wasn't COVID. But the gentleman, the doctor, he mentioned an adult onset asthma, possibly being the cause. I never had any referrals ordered or anything like that. He put me on a rescue inhaler, albuterol, so I would take the albuterol as needed. And I never touched another cigarette. I put it down because I can remember sitting there waiting to be seen and do what we call tripoding it, which is like where you're leaning forward and you got your arms on your knees and you're like bracing yourself and you're just working so hard and you got all of these accessory muscles in here. It's exhausting, and you're working so hard to breathe and you still feel like you can't. And they come in and they put that little thing, the oximeter, on your finger, and they check your oxygen levels, and they're like telling you, oh, your oxygen saturation is fine. Okay, great, but I can't fucking breathe. Doesn't matter what my oxygen saturation is. I could not get my breath. And it was just like having, that expression, an elephant sitting on your chest. It was like that. Just like being crushed. It was crazy. And it wasn't a heart attack. We know that for sure. They ran tests for that, but just a couple basic tests. And then that was it. They never really looked into it more than that. And it got better. I was on steroids, I was on antibiotics, the whole gambit. But after that, throughout that year, and especially in the summertime when everything was in, bloom and you got your pollens and all that, I started using that inhaler again, frequently. And finally, I ended up having a flare-up November of the following, so it would have been like, I don't know, it wasn't a year later, a year and a half. And I started getting sick again, for no obvious reason. I didn't have a fever or anything like that. It was the breathing. I couldn't breathe yet. And much longer story short, they did diagnose me officially now with adult onset asthma. I've had what they call PFTs, pulmonary function tests, that prove this is textbook adult onset asthma with no obvious reason. Of course, everybody wants to blame COVID or the COVID vaccine, and hell, I don't know. Maybe that is what it is, regardless. Or maybe it's from smoking all that time. I don't know. The why of it is frustrating because I'll never have an answer, I guess. But I also, in the last year, started developing food sensitivities to raw fruits and vegetables. I cannot eat apples. I can't say all apples. There is one kind of apple that's like, it's really bland though. It's not very delicious. And I can eat it without it bothering me. But generally, apples, Pineapple, strawberries seem to be okay. Blueberries are okay. Kiwis. There's so many things and I can't think about them all right now, but when I eat them, carrots. Carrots of all things. And I love carrots. I've eaten carrots my whole life without issue. But suddenly, when I eat a carrot, and these sorts of apples and things, like my mouth, like the surfaces inside my mouth and my tongue and all the way down into my throat and into here, it starts itching. And it itches so bad that I feel like I could take a bristle brush and just, just stick it down my throat. I mean, it's so bad. And if I can eat them, I can eat like carrots, I can eat steamed or cooked, doesn't matter. I just can't eat raw stuff, which my understanding, they always say the raw stuff is where you really get your nutrients from. Once you cook it, it diminishes that, but I can't eat things raw anymore like that. And then the heart problem set in, and that's just been such a rodeo, like such a long, drawn out, horrible rodeo with no real answers and no easy fix. And then week before last, no, this is week 2, so this is the second week, so like week before last, I fell. Well, it's been 3 weeks ago, the first time I fell twice in 1 week. I fell going up the stairs at my ex's house. We were having a birthday party for my oldest, and I was carrying things in my left hand, and so I caught myself on my right hand, right on this part of my hand, like right on the ledge of the stairs, like, this is the stair this way. I caught my hand right like this, and it hurt, but I shook it off. I have a pretty high pain tolerance, and I'm like, it's fine, I'm just old, little joint pain because I took a little tumble, but I ignored it, and I shouldn't have. And that was on a Saturday. The following Friday, so still within a week's time, I was crawling in my bed. Of all things, I have a really high bed because it's a super thick, like, memory foam mattress. It's really awkward to get into, and I'm gonna have to be like a little old lady and get me some stair steps, I guess. Even this morning, my allergies are bothering me. I was trying to get into bed and be discreet about it and not wake my dog up, and so I had my covers all on my left hand and trying to waddle my knees up towards from the foot of the bed, and I lost my balance and I kind of lunged forward, caught myself on my right hand again, and something popped, and just such bad pain. And I was like, well, that sucks. I guess it'll be better. It'll be better by morning time. And I went to bed, went to sleep, took my melatonin, knocked my booty out, and I went to sleep. And then when I got up the next morning, it was still hurting, and through the day it progressively got worse, and by day 4, I couldn't stand it anymore. It never bruised, but I started swelling, and like right in here. And so I ended up going and getting it x-rayed, and they did some tests, and at that time I felt I was like maybe a 2 out of 10 on the pain scale, just sitting there. But she pushed, what's this hand? She pushed like right in this area here. I'm not going to push on it because it really freaking hurts. But yeah, I about came out of the chair. It hurt so bad. And she called that a positive snuff box test. I had never heard of that term in all my years in healthcare. But I'm also not an ortho. I do cardiac and like all of the other organ systems. But I hate neuro. Anyway, so she was very concerned, despite the fact that nothing obvious jumped out of the x-ray to her, that I broke my... Well, one lady called it a scaphoid bone, one lady called it a scaphoid bone, but tomato. I call it scaphoid. My scaphoid bone. They were concerned that my scaphoid bone is broken. So they put me in this cast that stabilizes my thumb. I don't know, it's around here somewhere. I'm not wearing it right now. And it helped with the pain so much, which I think just supported her theory even more. So she referred me to OrthoDoc, who I saw last Friday, and she did the same thing. She poked and prodded around, looked at the x-rays and all that, and And she says, yeah, I think you've probably fractured your scaphoid bone. And like, so the thing is, it literally was my weight coming down on my hand. And I told the girl, I'm like, this is a lot of weight. Like, I have a lot of weight here to come down on that hand. And I'm sure, it's anatomically, anybody catches herself like that, you risk a injury, but I know that my weight did not help. And I get up in the mornings and my feet hurt, and by the end of the day, my knees hurt, and it's, it's just, things hurt that should not be hurting. And it's because the frame is not meant to hold all this extra weight. It's just not. That's not how it's supposed to be. And I know that. So with all these factors put together, what I'm going to end up having a stroke or getting diabetes, which runs in my family. There are so many complications that come with morbid obesity, which is what my chart says. Morbidly obese. It's such a disgusting term. I just hate it. But that is how I am classified based on my BMI. And, so many patients I've taken care of that are hospitalized for complications due to their obesity and all the comorbidities that go with it. And I don't want that. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. And I'm well on my way. So that's why I say this last 2 years has just been like a baby. The last 2 years have just been very eye-opening into how my health is in a downward spiral, and it's not going to go the other way. It's not going to go the other way if I don't make changes for the better. And so that's why I call myself Miss Tick Tick, because I feel like a ticking time bomb. I am a ticking time bomb. I know I am. So it's time to slow the clock. And that's what I mean by that. And today I'm going to make myself very vulnerable. And I'm going to do that thing where, you set up the camera and you do the before pictures. So I'm going to do the before video of just me and all of my glory with leggings on and a tight tank top. And I'm not going to get down into my skivvies because I'm not going to get that personal. I'm in a professional position and I can't do that. But I can do that. I can do my leggings. And that just doing that for me is very difficult because I just don't, like, I can hide my flaws some, with clothing. So to make myself entirely vulnerable and show the things that I've been hiding for so long, it's difficult for me, but I'm going to do it so that I can show my progress and later on look at my progress. Maybe when I'm feeling at a time where I'm kind of like things slow down and I need some motivation or whatever. But I have, like, my legs are so bad. I have, number one, major cellulite. I have since I was a kid. In my family, it runs in my family. Like, there just must not be any collagen in the works there. I don't know. But varicose veins. Varicose veins are so bad. I've had spider veins since I was 12. And every time I've had a child, I've had 3 kids, naturally. And every time I've had, and of course, being in healthcare for 20 years, you're on your feet. And I was a bad girl and didn't wear support stockings, which probably would have made a difference. But they've just gotten worse and worse and worse over time. And of course, the more weight I have on me, the worse they get. So it's difficult to tell what is cellulite and what is varicose veins, because they're they're really bad varicose veins. I've got one that starts at the top of my, like where my right groin is, and it goes all the way down my thigh and all the way down the side of my calf. And actually, randomly, had a bit of a rupture several months back. Like literally all I did was park the car, walk up the driveway, which is the bit of an incline, and walk back to my bedroom to change clothes, and my legs started burning. So it wasn't like no trauma, nothing hit it or anything like that. It's just they're so bad that they're that fragile, and it hurts so bad. And I've got a picture of it. I'll post at some point so that, you know, again, just another bit of evidence to support the ticking time bomb theory, because obesity makes them so much worse. And there are so many complications that can come with varicose veins too. Things I still, you know, I need to avoid as well. So anyway, yeah, it's gonna be ugly, and I'm gonna do it anyway. So here we go. Okay, so you can already see the gut. And I got, alright, I'll lift my shirt a little bit. So this roll here, hate it. And then the belly button. What belly button? You gotta lift that up to see the belly button. Alright, so, and then I have, so like, the pants kind of hide it, but this actually hangs over a little, which I find disgusting in myself. And then the arms, you can see, this is like, this flabby cellulite. It's like that on both sides. That's back fat. Okay, and then here's the rest of it. My big under thighs. My calves are huge. Alright, no sucking in. This is, you know, usually try to have better posture and tuck the tummy a little bit, but this is just natural. On the back side, all of this here, and then the giant booty. Okay, so that's me, and today I'm gonna do measurements too. Okay. I'll do inches. So, the waistline is the waist is like a bit narrower. Don't suck in. I'm such in a habit of like pulling it in. I can't see my boobs are in the way. Alright. 42! Ugh. Alright. Yep. This is difficult. These pants are slippery. My husband bought these pants for me yesterday. These leggings. He's so cute. He works at the VA, and they have they call it the canteen. There's like a little store down there in the hospital. And he texts me and he's like, they have leggings, what size are you? They had, and I love that. I love that he has no idea what size I am, because to him it just doesn't freaking matter. 53 and a half. Anyway, I'm like, okay, well 2X is generally what I wear. And he's like, oh, they only have like a small, large, or a 3X. Well, 3X is fine. I could do a 3X. I just can't go smaller. And so he got me these leggings, and they're comfy. They're Champion, I think, and they were 50% off, so they were like $40 a yarn for $20. Love it. And I told him that he is the only one that will ever see me in them, because I don't intend to wear them to the gym, because all of the, I don't really see it so much, but all the ripples, it's all my cellulite and my varicose veins. It's just not becoming at all. I prefer to wear black, but I'll wear them around the house. If I get really brave, maybe someday I'll wear them to the gym. Alright. Thigh time. Look at them under thighs. Left thigh, 33 inches. 33 and a half. Oh, here's a fun fact. My right leg is bigger than my left leg because of those varicose veins. It's called venous congestion. So they're smallest in the morning after I've been laying down all night. But as the day goes on and I'm upright, the blood pools, and your veins have valves in them. This is what creates varicose veins. Your veins have valves. When they become what we call faulty valves, as your muscles contract, it puts pressure against your venous system. The blood gets pushed back up to your heart. But those valves, as the blood goes up, they close, and that keeps the blood from falling back down. My valves are shit, so my blood just stays. Obviously a fair portion of it goes back up, but not like it's supposed to. So it puts me at risk for deep vein thrombosis because the blood just pools, and it's just so much. There's so much crap that could go wrong. Again, Miss Tick Tick here. All right, right calf. I have huge calves. It is such a frustration, particularly when I see a pair of tall boots that are like, oh my god, those are so cute. I would love to wear those, and yeah, I can't even get them past my freaking ankles. Okay, 22 inches. Ugh. Some people, that's like their thigh or their waist. Ugh. And 21 and a quarter on my left. Again, big size difference. Okay. Lose my shirt. Okay. Left arm. My arms are huge. I hate my arms. I've always hated my arms, even when I had an eating disorder in high school. I've always had a bad relationship with food. And I would eat 900 calories a day and run until I could not run anymore. I puked up half of what I did eat. Horribly unhealthy. But this is more difficult than I thought it would be. 16 and a half. And saying 16 and a half. At least my arms are equal. And then the bust. The unfortunate thing when you start losing weight as a lady, you lose it in your face and your boobs first. 47. And this is a little padded, so this is my favorite bra though. Gets me all the support. Okay, so that is our morning video of the day. A lot of information dumped on you guys that you probably don't care about, but that's alright. Hopefully you do. Keep following. Today I'm going to relax a little bit, and then I can't decide if I want to go to the gym today. That whole thing. I told myself I'm going to go, and then I just keep putting it off. Either way, something's going to happen later today. I got to move a little bit, so stay tuned.